that was weird because something changed. And anyway, welcome guys. I'm Alan. That's John. We are the horror guys, and my voice decided to join us this week, so that's nice. It's still not 100%, but it's a little
special. Our special guest for this week
Yeah.
is your voice. Yes,
It's me being able to talk. Yeah, we'll see how it is by the end of this episode. But
I think we'll get through it, man.
good to be back for our third show in a row without wasting weeks in between.
Right.
So but we're jumping into right off the bat here. We have some Scream stuff, some really interesting tidbits.
It's because of your background, man. You got to start off with the bang.
I got Ghostface sneaking up on me here, so
yes, you do. You got to watch yourself. That knife is right in your shoulder, man.
I know I'm being held hostage right now.
Right. All right, so we're going to start off with a bang. A little bit of Scream 6 news. Well, there aren't many yet. A few set photos suggest that Scream 6 may have a Halloween setting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for it, man. All for it.
Big fan of that. Yep.
We do have a picture of, and I'll put it up here, of course, of what is rumored to be Gail's apartment, and there is some Halloween decorations outside of it. So I love when a movie, we've talked about this before, like I love when a movie has a Halloween setting. There's just something about it. I love that time of year anyway. So to see it on film, I love it.
And it'll be cool to take Scream into that realm too, because it's never been done with a Halloween vibe to it. So it'll be cool to see how that, and think of all the things you could do with people dressed as Ghostface, confusing.
Oh yeah.
You could do a Ben Tramer thing.
Yep.
From Halloween too,
which they probably will. Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
or remember Halloween 4 when all the guys stood up and they had the Michael Myers.
Yeah. They all came walking out. Yep.
Yep. And then of course Michael stood in the middle of the street and watched the car go down the street.
Yes.
And then he ended up in the other cop car. Either way, he gets where he needs to go.
He does. We don't know how he does it, but he does.
I mean, I've always seen those little videos where like they'll show him walking, and then like when the camera's not on him, he's running to get to where he needs to be. So maybe that really is true.
Could be. That could be what he does. He's still fast as hell if that's the case.
And that's why he breathes so heavy, because he's tired.
He's always out of breath.
Tired from running. Yeah. See, it makes sense now.
We figured it out. We cracked it. We don't even need the next movie now. We figured it all out.
Case, man. It's on, dude. All right, so now we said a bang, right? We're starting off with a bang.
Yes.
And here's a bang for you. In other Scream news, rumor has it that Neve Campbell may have secretly signed on for Scream 6.
Keep in mind they did this with Skeet Ulrich.
Yes.
In the 5th movie. I'm telling you right now, if that's the case, then Sydney's the killer. You won't see her till the end of the movie. You won't see her, and she's the killer.
I'll tell you that. Well, when I read you this, I'll tell you what I think too. So here's a statement that came with it. Neve Campbell is a hot button issue in the Scream franchise recently. The actress, who has been in all of the Scream films, decided that she will not return for Scream 6 due to financial issues that didn't value her enough. However, now there is a rumor going around from a source that says Campbell may have secretly signed on already. According to Instagram page Don't Fuck With The Original, love the name.
Yeah.
Campbell and the studio have met on some common ground and decided a financial number that works for them both. This rumored negotiation doesn't extend to just Scream 6 either. It is said that, sorry, I gotta turn the page. Said that Neve will play a small part in Scream 6 and a return in Scream 7 for a much larger role. Okay. This is what I'm thinking, man. We talked about this before. She has got to have a breaking point where she's gonna fucking snap.
Yeah.
And if she's going to have this small role in 6, I think her bigger role in 7 will be finally she's the fucking killer.
Here's a question. Could they do something where it's revealed at 6 that she's the killer, but she lives to the next movie, and the next movie could potentially be a continuation of.
Okay.
That's an idea. It's a thought. It'd be something way different than what they've ever done.
To be honest with you, the fact that it's branching out into New York, the fact that they're doing a Halloween setting potentially, and then the fact now that if they did do something a little different with her being revealed in 6 carrying over into 7, you might as well, because honestly everything else has changed up. That would actually be kind of cool.
I think her character arc, it would make sense for her to head that way. Like with her character arc, I think it would be a logical landing place for her.
It has to be. I mean, it just gets to a point where like she can only be the good girl for so long.
Yeah.
Before she's been through so much shit in her life. Obviously, let's be honest here. When they talked to her in Scream 5, she wasn't even willing to come back to Woodsboro at all.
Right.
She wasn't having it, man. You know, like fuck that. I'm out. I'm good. I got kids now. I don't want no part of that shit.
I just want to think real quick, since we're talking about Scream and killers, just shout out to the ATGNAT podcast. They did it. I'm reading here. Ghostface Killers Rank. They did a video, actually. It's just funny because we're talking about who's going to be the next killer. Really, really cool episode that they did. And by the way, they have a really cool opening. So, I mean, check it out. Check those guys out. But they went through and they ranked all their favorite killers and gave reasons why. Some of it kind of surprised me a little bit, where some of them, you know, and their thoughts, but anyway, go check that out. Their video opening is actually worth seeing on its own. So, so anyway, I just want to give those guys a quick shout out because they're always commenting on our videos and stuff.
Yeah, we appreciate that too.
Yeah.
So the end of that statement just says that we're going to have to wait to see if any of these rumors hold air. But for now, we are going to remain optimistic. I mean, if she's in it, that's great. And if she's not, that's okay too. And we talked about that before, you know. Temper your expectations, obviously. Don't go in there expecting her to make a surprise appearance, especially with the news that we have. But, you know, it would be really cool if they were able to do that. And it's so hard to do stuff like that nowadays without anybody knowing. And again, the rumor would be kind of a spoiler, and it's almost like it kind of sucks that we kind of have an inkling that it might happen. But it would still be really cool if, you know, if she popped up towards the end of the movie or popped up at some point and was in the next one. So let's hope. I mean, I was completely surprised that Skeet Ulrich was in 5. I never knew that. I wasn't expecting that. No. I had no idea. Yeah. So that was a cool, welcome surprise. Definitely. Not, like you said, nowadays it's so hard to keep any kind of secrets. Rumors are going to come out and going to ruin everything. Yeah. And that's our biggest thing with Halloween. We've been talking about too. Oh yeah, and we're definitely going to touch on later because we already know that there's shit out there already. So. Yeah. Yep. Well, what do you think, man? I'm still looking forward to Scream. Like I said, if Scream, in my opinion, is one of the it belongs in with the heavy hitters of the slasher genre, in my opinion. You're talking about a movie that came out in the 90s and kind of reintroduced slasher films to an entire generation. You know, so I think it belongs in there with the Friday the 13th, the Halloweens, the Nightmare on Elm Street, and all that. So how could you not be excited if you're a fan of that genre, which I am? I'd be excited. I'd be excited if nobody was coming back and they were making another one, because I'm a diehard. Exactly, still gonna watch it. But I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, these guys deserve the benefit of the doubt. The last one was good, I thought. So I mean, they have a trilogy in mind, and hopefully they can get this story where they intend to get it to. But I agree with you, though. It belongs in the upper tier of your slasher villains and films, because let's face it, every slasher technically has their own story. So Michael's your guy who kind of I don't know, at the age of 6 just kind of snapped and decided to kill his sister and then went on to pursue the rest of his family, depending on which storyline you follow. Don't quote me on that, and don't get right. That's the breakdown of the original Halloween. And then you got like Leatherface, who, in a sense, if you go by the original, is kind of just protecting his house. He's fucked up, but he don't want you in his house. So okay, right. Which is really something they stuck to with the most recent sequel that they did. He was protecting his home even more than any other sequel, honestly. And then Freddy's obviously the Dream Master, and then you got Jason, who's like we really don't know what Jason is yet. The mama's boy, zombie. He's not the a zombie, undead. He's not a right.
he's like, he dies, but then he comes back, but we don't know why he
Right.
comes back. In a lot of ways, he's more mysterious than Michael Myers is, because we've had now if you go look at so comparing, you know, all these different slashers, the most mysterious is in Halloween, the first film as a standalone movie. We don't know why Michael Myers is chasing people. We don't know why he seems to be, you know, abnormally strong and able to take so much punishment. But when you add in all the sequels and all the explanations, he becomes less mysterious. Whereas Jason, why? Okay, first of all, Jason was a little boy that drowned. He reemerges back to life as a grown-ass man. And every time you kill him and he comes back, the bastard gets bigger.
So my question is, did he really drown as the kid? Did he not drown and they just kind of like left him somewhere? Like, I don't know, he survived and he just grew up in the woods, or did he like grow underwater? He's like one of those fucking things you put in the water and it grows overnight. I don't know what the fuck happened.
We never really did get an explanation as to why he suddenly returned.
Jason's like a fucking sea monkey. Remember those little sea monkey packets you buy back in the day?
Yeah, you put it in.
Yeah, he just grew overnight. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but or, you know, but then again, then you look at like Ghostface, who is a everyday person that just put this mask on. Yes, they have an agenda.
But they all have different agendas, and that's cool too. Yeah. They all have a different reason. They all have a different background.
Yep.
And there could be two or one. And that was one of the cool things about it was, you know, that it was always a different story and a different reason as to why. You know,
and that's what I think a lot of people don't get with this new, I guess we'll call it a new trilogy, because that's basically what we're gonna get. Or maybe we'll get more, who knows. It's not the Sidney Prescott story anymore.
Right.
These are now young kids who are trying to get famous by, you know, being the Ghostface killer.
Yeah.
Now eventually something's going to have to tie into these next two to have an overall story to kind of make it all come together, and I'm sure it will.
And the truth is, not to knock, you know, Sidney Prescott, but she's kind of old news in terms of like, she now is playing the role of the expert in stopping Ghostface killers, because she's been through it so many times. She's no longer going to be the subject of their. Now, don't get me wrong; they'd love to be. You know, any one of these Ghostface killers obviously would love to kill Sidney Prescott because they're all, you know, fans of the story or whatever, so to speak. But they all now are, you know, doing this for different reasons, and they're choosing that platform to use. I guess you could call it a platform, I suppose, because if you're in that universe and that's how you're going to kill people, it is going to create buzz and give you attention. So,
I mean, hell, man, she essentially went from Laurie Strode to now she's the Dr. Loomis of the Scream franchise.
Basically, yeah. And I like that role. So, I mean, it would be cool if they were truly able to secure her. We don't know. I do think that, you know, it's cool to have Gail back. You know, Dewey's gone. Like
well, you know what, man? I keep thinking he may get the Hawkins treatment. Who knows? Dewey he'll be in a wheelchair probably by now, but he might roll his ass back in for Scream 6.
You never know. You never know. Maybe he'll come back with the limp. The limp will be back.
Oh no, yeah.
The limp that comes and goes, like, was there and then it was gone, and then it kind of came back in a different form. They just never really knew for sure. Do we want him to limp? Do we not want him to limp? Maybe it's just, you know.
Oh man. Well, here's something for you. Do you remember watching Nickelodeon back in the day? We had all the cool, like Lucha shorts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? They are bringing back another reboot series of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
This is the second time they've done that.
It's the third one now, yeah. And this is actually and the other ones were actually pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Is this is it the same? Is it like a third season, or are they just totally doing it again?
They're calling it like a third reboot of the series, basically.
Okay.
And it's called Ghost Island, and it premieres on Saturday, July 30th. And the season follows an all-new Midnight Society as they go on what they thought would be a fun summer vacation on a resort island until they learn that something sinister is haunting the guests. I'm gonna watch it because I think
I
it's
love
great.
that stuff.
Yeah,
Love that
that was
stuff.
fun shit. Man, I remember watching all that stuff. Like I said, like
Oh
I talked
God.
about Salute Your Shorts. My favorite episode was Zeke the Plumber. Like that's the best episode of Salute Your Shorts. But Nickelodeon back in the day, man, that was the channel. Like you watched all the cool shit on there.
It's not the same anymore. Unfortunately. I feel like, all that, I mean, there's much more animation and stuff like that anymore.
Yeah.
We
the coolest thing Nickelodeon has now is SpongeBob. So I mean,
yeah.
And that's been out for like 20 years now.
That's pretty old too. So I'd say probably SpongeBob's been around for a long. Remember Ren and Stimpy?
Yes.
I mean, Ren and Stimpy wouldn't fly on Nickelodeon these days.
Hell no. No. Not at all, man. No, not even close. But no, I always enjoyed those. I watched the one that came out. I don't know if it was last year, the year before last. I think it had like a carnival setting, and I actually enjoyed that one.
I saw a few of those episodes. Yeah. We watched it. I liked it. It was one of those. Actually, we were just talking about the other night. We wanted to get back into it and watch the rest of it. But
oh, nice. Yeah, well, this one's coming out end of next month. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. We've been rewatching a lot of Stranger Things because my son wanted to watch it. So I know I'm not trying. That was not a you got to watch Stranger Things opportunity.
Oh no, I was just hanging my head in shame because I know I have to. Like I know. Madison just told me the other day. She's like, you got to watch that, right? Because the last season.
Well, the new one's coming on like on Friday, I think, in 2 days. So
it's supposed to be like what 2 super long episodes or something like that, or whatever. Is that how it is, or for this last couple?
I'm not sure how they're gonna do it. I actually just found out that they are doing a 5th season now.
Oh, are they really?
So yeah, originally I had thought that this was the last season, but now they're saying that there is a 5th season, and that will be the last one. So
okay, well, hell, I'm sure it did so well that they have no choice, honestly.
Yeah. Well, nobody wants to see it go. I mean, it's
right.
So
Madison likes that Eddie Munson kid,
the new character. Yeah.
I keep joking with her and calling him Eddie Munster.
Yeah.
She loves that dude. That's her favorite.
Yeah. He's real popular. They're saying that in the last part of this season, a lot of people are going to die. So we'll see. We'll see if he makes it out. Anytime it's a new character, you're always a little nervous.
Yeah. Well, that's like that with anything we get to watch.
Yeah. For sure.
I got a small bit of Chucky season 2 news, which I talked to you about yesterday.
Yeah.
We're getting the return of Glenn and Glenda. And I'll post this up here. Jennifer Tilly posted a picture.
I saw the picture,
Instagram, of the actor and welcoming them to the series. So it says Glenn and Glenda right again. So we're getting the return of. We talked about that too. We actually said it as a joke, but we said that we might even get the return of Glenn. And where is Glenn and Glenda? Well, we're about to find out.
Yeah.
So. It looks to be more of the human form from when I think it was Cult or Curse of Chucky, or no, it was which one was it where they were all human? She had transferred over to Jennifer Tilly, and then Glenn and Glenda was actually a human child at the time.
God, I don't even remember.
It looks like they're going to be in human form, but that doesn't mean the doll won't show up, because hell, Tiffany showed up at the end of the other one. So
that's honestly probably the only. The most challenging thing about that show is there's a lot of flashbacks and time jumps that you have to kind of keep straight. So you do got to watch. You got to pay attention.
Oh yeah.
So, and I'm sure it's going to be the same this season. So,
that's what I told people. Like, you can watch Chucky, the TV series, and you can enjoy it. Yeah. But it helps if you've watched the movies from start to finish.
Yeah, and it. Yeah, well, and for me, I have not seen those movies in many years.
Right.
And I think there were a couple that I actually didn't see. So, I mean, for me, it's still piecing a lot of it together. You know what I would like to actually see in this season, if they can touch on it for just, I don't care if it was just a few minutes. The voodoo guy that actually taught, God, why can't Charles Lee Ray.
Thank you. My God, his name went completely out of my head there for a second. kind of taught him the whole voodoo thing. I would like to actually see a little bit of a backstory on that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that'd be kind of cool.
I mean, this is an opportunity. It's harder to do that in a movie, but it's an opportunity for a television show. If you know you want to explore that, they could, you know.
And I'll tell you what else I would like to see, even if it was a cliffhanger at the end of season 2 to head into season 3. If they get a season 3, I'm hoping they do. Is an appearance by Chris Sarandon coming back as the cop from the original. I think
that would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah,
I would love to see that because if I remember right, they mentioned him in the series. In the first season, so like I would love to see him come back. Just because I love Chris Sarandon, so right night. Just gonna say that, but got some other cool news for us. We're getting a sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife.
That is good news. I love the last one. Yeah,
it's on the way. It was confirmed during Ghostbusters Day, which was earlier this month, which I didn't know anything about. Nobody.
I didn't know that either. Yeah,
right. The untitled sequel will hit theaters on December 20th, 2023. So it's coming next year already.
Fantastic. That's great. The last one was absolutely
dude. That ending
perfect.
when they had Egon like the ghost.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, dude.
Yeah, he said, I figured you'd turn up here.
Right.
Yeah.
So the end credits of Afterlife hinted at a sequel that will return to the original film's New York City and firehouse setting, which they did show that Ernie Hudson.
Yeah. Love it.
It's said to be the next chapter in the Spangler family story, but no word on who's returning. But we can expect Afterlife, and this is the new famous word, legacy characters. So, that's what everybody's calling them now. If you come back from a franchise, you are now a legacy character.
Yeah, no you know what? Call them whatever you want. I think it's cool that we can see this, and that a lot of these guys are willing to do it. So
absolutely. From what I have seen, you know how like movies film under like a code name sometimes, you know.
Yes.
They're calling this one Firehouse. So I don't know
if
they're going to call it Ghostbusters Firehouse or whatever, but who knows? That's what they're calling it as a code name or whatever.
Yeah. Cool that they're going to the original setting. That's fun. So
I could see Ernie Hudson probably coming back for a more larger role in this one. I don't know if Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd would though, like for a bigger role.
Maybe not a bigger role. I think they'll be in it. I would be surprised if they weren't in it, especially, you know, but maybe something similar to the last one where maybe they show up at the end or whatever. You know.
I mean, it was a fun movie.
It was good. It was very, you know.
I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what they do with the next one. I hope that they can keep the same actors and actresses.
Hopefully Paul Rudd comes back because I really enjoyed it.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
And you remember the rumor of that he was actually asked to be in Kills, but because he was in Afterlife,
and he would have done Kills.
The thing about Paul Rudd is he doesn't age, so he'd have looked the same as he did.
I know.
As Tommy Doyle in Halloween
I know.
6. So.
Yeah, he definitely does not age.
No. It'd have been like, Tommy, have you aged at all? Are you still a little boy?
You're still a little boy, Tommy. It would have been interesting to see if Paul Rudd would have taken that role, how the reception to Tommy's character would have been.
Honestly, probably. You know what people didn't like about Tommy was the fact that he just said "Evil dies tonight." People hate.
Yeah, I you know, and that was and we could get into all that later. But I think when I look back on Halloween Kills, I think that was part of it. I think a lot of that stuff was written. You know, it was just too the chanting and then all the back and forth between Michael stalking and then back at the hospital and then Michael stalking and then back at the hospital. Right. I think it was just tough to.
And I think a lot of that could have. And I'm not going to say it was intentional, but let's be honest. When you're a writer and you write these scripts, you write a character in a way how you want the audience to portray them and how you want them to feel about them.
Right.
So you took Alani, who was a complete asshole in Halloween '78, and then you bring him back for Kills, and you kind of write him in as a decent guy who really had his own trauma.
Yeah.
And so then Tommy, not really an asshole in the movie, he meant well. I mean, he tried. He meant well.
Yeah.
He really was trying to save everybody and stuff. But he did kind of come off a little bit weird at times and shit. So maybe that was written that way, and they wanted people to perceive that about him. Who knows?
It's hard. Yeah. It was.
People are gonna watch him. Some people love Michael Myers. Like, physically in love with Michael Myers. So he may. Who knows? I mean, you know, It's just how
Yeah.
sometimes they're written. I'm not saying it was
Yeah.
on purpose, but I don't know.
No, and I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
the good news is for the people that didn't like it is he clearly will not be in the next one. So
No, well, no, he will not. Especially if you watch that cut scene that got
yeah,
for kills. He definitely isn't coming
yeah,
back.
yeah.
No. All right, man. Well, we have a teaser trailer finally for Hocus Pocus 2.
Looks great, by the way.
It does. Yeah,
yeah,
it does. I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie. There are some pictures that come along with that, which I will post up while we're talking. So if you watch the trailer, it's basically along the same lines of the original Hocus Pocus.
Yeah,
Although now
same
you have
idea.
three girls who are celebrating the girl's 16th birthday, and when I'm not sure if that was a teacher. I'm going to say it probably was, and he said something along the lines of, "Well, which gets her powers is on her 16th birthday." So now these girls decide now that they're going to, I don't know, become witches. I don't know if they're the charmed ones or what, but they decide to light the black flame candle, and well, the Sanderson sisters come back to play.
Oops.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I did notice, and I'm sure you did too during the trailer, that there was a black cat running around. So
I noticed the cat.
I wonder if that's still Binks. I don't know for sure.
And then the grave was that Billy or the zombie guy that was following him around in the first one.
Which I do know he's coming back for sure. He's definitely in the movie.
Hopefully the cat, they do the same thing at least with the cat.
Yeah. But then again, I'm not sure how that would work because at the end of the first one, his soul did kind of like.
That's a good point. That's true.
So I don't know. Maybe the cat will just start talking just because. I don't know.
Yeah,
oh, you know what though? Here we go.
Maybe the cat will say "Evil dies tonight."
Oh, I bet you will. But you know what? Maybe because they're being brought back, maybe that brings his soul back into the cat too. Then
I thought that could be true. That could be
because he ultimately his goal is to stop them. So maybe that's what that is. No, it looks fun though. I would like to see hopefully. And hopefully it's kept quiet that we maybe get a few cameos from some of the other originals from the
legacy characters.
Exactly, the Hocus Pocus legacy characters.
They're calling it a streaming event on Disney Plus. Do we know if it's going to be only one night or is it going to be streaming for?
As far as I know, it's hitting that, and I believe it's staying. I don't know if it's one of those ones you have to pay to watch or if it's just
probably $30 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm sure. If that's the case, it'll stay like that for probably about a month or so, and then it'll switch over to where you can watch it.
Yeah.
And we have a possible poster too. I don't know if it's legit, but it's kind of cool. Which I'll throw that up too. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed the first one. It's one of those movies you watch every October. You have to.
It surprised me it took them this long to make another one. That's
what I said, man. I think we're so lucky to be able to get the original 3 back.
Yeah, and my wife pointed out when we saw the trailer how much makeup they were obviously all wearing, but I mean they're a lot older now. But they still look great, and I still think it's going to be, you could just tell that Bette Midler just gets into that character. You could tell she really enjoys it.
Absolutely. I guess it kind of goes along with the whole theory, like they do age until they get the
that's true. That's a good point.
I guess while they were, rotting over these several years, they were getting old. I don't know. Maybe that's what happened. But no, they definitely look older for sure. The only one that doesn't really look older is Kathy Najimy. Like she doesn't look much different from.
She looks about the same. Yeah.
Yeah, she really does.
She looks about the same.
She's lost a ton of weight though. That's the only difference. She looks pretty much the same. All right, before we jump into Halloween Ends news, you know how I like to go in these Halloween groups. I don't know why, man. You're scrolling Facebook and it pops up and you see some of the most dumbest shit you've ever seen.
Yes.
Now, I've never been the dick and like been super mean to people. I don't like to do that, but I have to read some of these to you because they're just terrible. Man, all right. So we have a picture which I will post. A picture of Sheriff Brackett from Halloween Kills. And this is what the caption says on it. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
With all the hate that Halloween Kills gets, hearing Brackett say he killed my daughter 80 years ago was emotional for me.
80 years, huh?
Just let that sink in for a second. 80 years ago. And this dude who posted this was so serious 80 years ago. I don't recall that line. Um, I don't. I
80,
just.
year-
Uh,
80 years ago,
yes.
huh?
Listen, I understand. I don't even think the actor himself, Charlie Cyphers, is 80 years old yet. He may be. I think he's in his very late 70s, pushing 80. He
Yeah.
may be 80. I don't know. But 80 years ago, though, really, dude, he ain't that
80.
old. He's just not that old, man. Um, this is another one that I'll have to post a picture for, but someone expressed their favorite Easter egg in Halloween Kills. You may have missed this one because I sure as fuck did. The Brian Andrews Easter egg, to be exact. So, if you don't know who Brian Andrews is, let me give you a quick little rundown. Brian Andrews is the actor who played Tommy Doyle in the original Halloween, the little boy. Now, obviously, you've seen him as he's grown up over the years. Interesting fella. I guess not wrapped too tight over the years. He's got
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of issues there.
I did meet him once, and I will say that he is very much a ladies' man, as opposed to if you're a guy, he doesn't give two shits. But I did get him to sign my poster, so whatever. Anyway, the picture is a picture of Travoli from Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, the one of the asylum escapees. If you guys remember, of course, our Benjamin Franklin looking fella that everyone thought was Michael Myers. And it says that on the picture of this says my favorite Easter egg, the Brian Andrews Easter egg. And it's just not him, dude. Like, I'm sorry, I know that Brian Andrews don't even look like him, dude. But this is the kind of shit that you see in these groups, and I have to share it with you sometimes. So I got a few theories for you on Karen.
Okay.
Some people just can't get over the fact that she's dead.
She's dead. She's definitely dead.
So now remember, these are not my words. I'm only quoting what was said in some of these comments. Karen is not dead. Y'all have her dead and buried already and aren't even sure if she survived. He slashed at her, but she's good. So
we saw the blood and literally the life leaving her eyes.
That was a very psycho type of kill. They did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Where when you see Janet Leigh at the end of the psycho scene, she's on the ground and you get that nice shot of her eyes.
They show her eyes, right.
They did the same thing with Karen.
Yep.
There's a puddle of blood.
Yep.
And there's, like you said, the lifeless eyes. She's dead. I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing alive about Karen in that scene.
I don't know how else I could tell you that, but she's dead. Just so
you
know. And there's more. We don't even know if
same person.
You know what? These ones are different. This one is. Let me see, because I know I have another Karen one too. It's in here somewhere, but I have a ton of notes. So this one is just an interesting theory. We don't even know if the Michael who slashed at Karen is the same Michael that got beat by the group of people. You already see where this is going, right? Maybe there are two Michael Myers, and Lori is one of them.
Like in Scream.
And she killed her own daughter because she's crazy.
Lori was in the hospital.
Yeah. And she calls. There's no way around that. Even though they cut that scene where she calls. Karen, there's no way around the fact she was in that hospital. But whatever. Hey man, theories are theories. You guys got your own thoughts. I just wanted to share them. And this person is as dead set on Karen returning and not being dead because she's listed on the cast. The same cast that was listed for Ends before Kills even came out. That hasn't been updated at all through this whole process. Yeah, okay.
And we've been down this road before with IMDb and stuff too, where I think there were people's names listed for these movies that were never in the movies.
Right, absolutely. They just basically take your main characters and float them over to the next movie.
Right, and they also will take rumors if there's a rumored character. And put them in the cast and then update it whenever a rumor is either dispelled or somebody else actually ends up playing a certain role. So
absolutely. So since we're kind of heading into the Ends news, I got some more theories for you that come from these Halloween groups. What if at the end of Halloween Ends, Lori wakes up and she's still in the hospital from Halloween 2? And it was all a dream. All right, normal. That sounds good so far, right?
Yeah.
Here's where it gets worse, and this is why we're talking about it. But then Danielle Harris's head explodes from Lori's stomach. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, because they really want her in these movies, dude. They're not playing.
Why do they want her head to explode from her stomach?
Well, there's more. So when her head explodes from her stomach, she shouts, "Here's Jamie," and berates the audience for having such shit. What if?
For having such shit?
I'm assuming that scene itself being such shit.
What?
You know, as I was reading that, I was like, man, you know, we've talked about her maybe being in the coma or what have you, and maybe it's all been a dream. We talked about
that part of it was okay.
And then I got to the other part that says Danielle Harris's head exploding from Lily's stomach. And I was like, I quit. I'm done. Yeah. So they gave her the alien treatment, basically. And I don't even know what to think about that.
Oh, my God.
So here's another one for you.
Nothing can top that.
That's icing on the cake right there. So what if Michael Myers was killed by the mob? Then Laurie dreamed the rest of Halloween Kills to wake up 4 years later in a coma, turning the page. That's not part of the story. Then Michael comes back to the hospital, but it's really not Michael, it's Allison. I don't.
A lot of people are really wanting to see either Laurie or Allison, like,
or Danielle Harris pop from her stomach.
Or Danielle.
You know.
Here's Jamie.
Right? Oh my God, dude. Okay. I would have been along with that story had they said, you know.
I don't know. I'm all for it. I hope they do it.
If that's not a deleted scene, I'm going to be highly disappointed now. Oh, that's so terrible. Oh, man. I'm trying to make sure that I covered everything that I had. Let's see. All right, so we're kind of heading into that whole Halloween Ends part of everything. I had to tell you those stories though because they're just god awful. If some of these people, I hope to God some of them are joking, but they're so serious about it that I think that they're really
how can that one not be a joke though? You know, like
well, listen, I would have been on board with them saying she was in a coma after I don't know, whatever. You know, and maybe.
Well, why? Well, that's another thing. Why would she be okay? All right. I mean, I know we're really okay. So basically, they're saying we're going to go back to 1978.
Yes.
And she's going to wake up in Haddonfield Memorial Hospital in a coma.
Yes.
Okay, from being stabbed in the arm and a broken ankle.
Yeah, and seeing your friends dead. Yes, that's it. I mean, there's trauma there. Don't get me wrong.
Listen. I could.
It's okay. I get it, man. I get it. Listen, here's a question for you. Jimmy slipped and fell on the floor in a puddle of blood, and then when he got in the car, he kind of passed out. Jimmy's ass wasn't dead from what? He hit his head. I don't think he died from that. Let's be honest. Like, you see, he should be in the fucking coma.
Maybe Danielle Harris pops her head out of explodes her head out of his stomach and says, "Here's Jamie."
Oh, or
maybe we could tie in Rob. Maybe we could. Maybe we could tie in Rob Zombie's Halloween, and she could pop her head out and say, "Here's Annie."
Oh, there you go. She can do both. We can do two different cuts. There you go.
You can have two Danielle Harrises simultaneously.
Oh, Jesus. 2 Michael Myers, 2 Laurie Strodes, 2 Danielle Harrises, 2 Jimmys. We'll bring it all back, man.
Fans, check out and follow the Horror Guys. You can find them on Facebook, facebook.com/The Horror Guys. On Twitter, Horror Guys 21, that's HORRORGUYS 21. On YouTube, The Horror Guys. And also on Spotify, search for The Horror Guys.
Beetlejuice.